So we are at the end of another Frenzy Feast like battle, and we are almost 24 hours into the actual release of the event. We're holding at 63 at 89,764, and before we were much higher, but I decided not to document this because I wanted it to roll over, let people get their runs in, let a day pass. And as you can see, the increments to actually get up here are not so much higher, despite this being occupied by who I'd imagine are mostly whales, whale players. Yeah, we got let's see if we got anyone here. Yeah, mostly whale players. So we're still holding strong. Yeah, here we go. Still holding strong, still showing a pretty incredible placement despite being nearly 24 hours post. And we can see here I maintain a 5.7% on the slash, probably the most competitive by far. And you can see that Yachiru is cropping up a ton now, and Yachiru is also the character that I use. Yachiru is a monster. The thing that Yachiru allows is us to free up our Urahara slot, and thus we also sort of free up our Aizen slot because we get so much crit on our Kenpachi for free that he doesn't need help. He essentially solos the event. What that allows us to do then is to put Aizen and Urahara on our spirit team for Ikkaku and get a pretty serviceable spot. And you can see this is what a lot of people did, right? Urahara Aizen, Aizen here. It allows us to get a pretty serviceable score despite not using them for our main score count here, which is pretty good. And then on our Kisuke, we did use the Gin, Tosen, and Rangiku, which makes the most sense. But yeah, 63 after, what is that, 19 hours? Not too bad, not too shabby at all. Like I said, I wanted to wait to, show this. Just a little time pass. Let my score deflate as more people get home, actually do their runs, etc., etc. But another thing, we're just going to be doing a little bit of an account review video. We're at 13,528 Jade, which means we've made about, I'm going to do the math in my head, 6,500 Jade so far. Not counting tickets that we've gotten for free, and we're at another 10 pull here. Let's actually do this 10 pull. But I think this is 6,500 if I'm not mistaken. I ended the pulls for Kenpachi because I did not get particularly lucky on my Kenpachi pulls. I think I double pitied. So I pitied him and I pitied his stamp, I think. And I think that means that we ended up at like 7,000 in total, something like that. And we're now at 13,500, which I think is about 6,500. Yes. So there's that. I think the Kenpachi events, considering we have another week and some change, 10 days, week and some change of Kenpachi's event, it's a pretty good, it's a pretty good buck. Let's do these pulls, just see what we get. If we get anything at all. If we get another SSR, that'd be kind of crazy because we've gotten a lot recently. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? No Ikkaku is all we care about. No Ikkaku is all we care about. That is literally the only thing. If we get Ikkaku, we're going to be pretty sad because it's literally wasted. But that's pretty crazy. Oh, that's really good. I don't think I have many dupes of that. Okay. Oh, no, it is Ikkaku, I think. No! No! Why are you here? Why are you here, dog? I'm not rating that shit. No, that bum. That bum is here. It's like I didn't even get a dupe. It's like I literally didn't get a dupe. What? What? Are you kidding me? That is so sad. It's like I got nothing. What the hell? Increases Ikkaku's spiritual presence charge rate by 100% through attacks. Oh, wow. No. Ugh. Man. This is like I think this is like the entry level boundary you need for this to be like worth it. That is so sad. Ah, that couldn't just be in Tosen, and then I could have gotten like an extra Tosen dupe like later. Whatever, we'll do this one too. That is so sad, dude. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Too funny. I love this game. I love Bleach Soul Resonance, man. That is a bomb in this list, by the way. Like, you could have gotten, I could have gotten any of these and been like, oh, that's pretty good. This guy is a bomb hiding out in our standard pool. Maybe he'll get buffed at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if Ikkaku at some point in his life got a meaningful buff, and I should, just to be safe, I should actually switch it to this. That way, if I do end up pulling his weapon, you know, I will pull it in the next 4 pulls. And he does get buffed or changed in some meaningful way at some point. He won't be so bad, but man, that's so sad. That is so sad. That's so beyond sad. Just going back into things though, I've started to complete more of the content that we have for this week. We can go to the trial tower and we can see that I'm 30 for 30 here. This is a hugely successful event. I have no notes. I think that this is great. You can see that it's starting in 17 days, or it's refreshing in 17 days, which means that by the time we're into this, we'll be a week into Nellel. So if you do not have the materials to raise Nellel, I would suggest continuing to farm and getting your, collecting your materials, though. We have a ton now, and it will disappear in an instant if you are not careful. It will disappear in an instant if you're not careful. I haven't progressed the trial towers themselves much. This is mostly because I've just had a lot of other things to do, if I'm honest. Like, I try to get my free rewards as much as I can, and I leave the rest for later. Because there's the tower towers aren't going anywhere. I'm not in a rush to try to rank among the whales who are, crushing these floors, right? Like it's fine. That's for them. I know people are sort of worried about the power creep in the towers. The thing is that we as free-to-play players aren't meant to immediately boss rush the towers. This is power creep for when they do half anniversary. You know what I mean? Half anniversary hits, and suddenly you've got Vastalor Ichigo, I guess, and he just literally does more damage than everyone else. He just does more damage. There's no sugarcoating. He just does more. It's been 6 months. He does more, right? That is what we're going to sort of see when this actually does happen, and it's going to make this feel like a joke. But for now, it's a little tougher because it's scaled for whales, and that's just how it goes. And this is a gacha ultimately, and I see people being like, well, what is there to do? What should I do? It's the same stuff. It's like, it's a gacha ultimately, right? When we speak about how good these types of games are, we speak about it in, correlated to other games in its genres. We don't, this isn't, God of War Ragnarok or something, right? This is still what it is. We talk about these games in the context of themselves, not as if they're like, just so exemplary. I'm still holding on to all of my stamp corridor tickets. That way, when Nellel comes out, I can try to grab a copy of her core stamp without any sort of fuss. We are getting to a point where I'm getting a little shaky. I'm getting a little shaky about my Jade count. We might have to do a skip soon, just to make sure that I'm topped up for the character after. Because as far as characters for Bleach Soul Resonance goes, I want to see characters like Okieta. I want to see characters like Shinsui very, very badly, very desperately. That's one of my top characters. I want to see characters like the Captain Commander. Apparently, we're going to be going deeper into Huacamundo as confirmed by some people in the community. So I want to see characters like Coyote Stark, and I don't want to miss them. I know some of you out there want to see characters like Harabel. Harabel, I think that she kind of gets a bit of a bum deal when it comes to her fights in the series, but she is very cool looking. So I know some of you, want to see a Harabel come back. We could see characters like, we could even see like a Yami Largo. We obviously have his model in game as a boss, and it would be cool to have a sort of like punching bruiser character. I know Yami Largo isn't the hypest character, obviously, even if he is, the Zero Espada, but he would provide a very cool niche, which is a strike character who actually punches like Yoruichi, but more importantly like Chad. I would love to see a Chad character come out at some point in the near future as well. I think Renji, SSR Renji and SSR Rukia are probably two of the most wanted characters because they're in the game as SRs, but obviously they're not particularly usable. You could obviously use Rukia for her buffs because she's still just a buffing character. But I think as far as like a real freeze character, a character who actually does huge amounts of damage, actually procs her freeze, actually is doing like cool things, I think we obviously want a Rukia and a Renji. I think we also, you know, a lot of people who are Yu fans, they like the Quincy. This would be another character to get that is like really cool. Ultimately, it's weird though that the Quincy, by and large, at least until the 1,000 Year Blood War, will primarily just be thrust characters, it feels like. But and again, another cool character that we could get SSR'd. And I know a lot of people are asking, where is he? I cannot find him. Here he is. I know a lot of people are asking for an SSR rerun of Byakuya just to get a form of him that is more damaging. I mean, I said it before, Byakuya could literally have like 8 more characters. Easily. Byakuya does so much throughout Bleach. He has so many styles. They could invent things for him to do. He has a bunch of outfits, weirdly enough. Like, he's one of the most like drippy characters. He has I don't know. He could literally be a strike character. He, like, against in that fight where he's like mostly flash stepping versus the one Arankar. I cannot remember his name, but he's like the love Arankar. But, you know, that meme gif that people post from time to time where he's flash stepping through the desert with him, like, they could do so much with this character. He's so swaggy. He does so much throughout the series that they could just print SSRs of him. He's also very popular. So yeah, little back and forth like recoup video where we just yap about some things and, you know, catch up. But yeah, Frenzy Feast done, placement really well. About 6,500 Jade in total, I believe. We've spent all of our standard tickets, which means we're waiting on the recoup. We do have 9. We have another 10 pull, essentially. We have another 10 pull essentially waiting for Nell when she drops, which will... What does that mean? It's about 1,500. That's essentially 1,500 Jade that we have, and we've got tickets still on the way for Global that we did not yet receive from the, you know, mailbox. I believe the JP and SCN stuff side have rolled those out. Maybe that'll be tonight when on refresh. It does not refresh as I'm making this, but yeah. Like you like the video, subscribe to the club, we all go make it, and peace.